Hey YouTube, hey subscribers, thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope 2018 turns out to be one of the best years of your lives. Let's kick off 2018 by dispelling some long-held and what I believe to be incorrect beliefs about how we interact with each other and the end result of those interactions. So a very popular belief that you will hear people say is you teach people how to treat you. You teach others how to treat you. Now, I'm kind of split on this, but I'm more on one side than the other, and I'll explain. In a sense, yes, it is up to you to establish boundaries, for you to let others know who you are and who you are not, what you like, what you don't like, what you'll tolerate and what you won't tolerate. So yes, in that sense, I don't consider that teaching people how to treat you. I consider that teaching people who you are, which to me are two very different things. So here's why I have always kind of taken a little bit of umbrage with this philosophy or this belief system. You'll hear people say, well, you teach others how to treat you. So in other words, there's kind of some built-in blame in that statement. In other words, if this person made a decision to treat me poorly, then it must be my fault because I didn't teach them or train them correctly as far as how I wanted to be treated. Now, there's a difference between never telling someone, hey, I like this or I like to do this, and hoping that they catch on. So hoping that they're psychic, and then when they don't fulfill that, then you get upset. That's not okay because they're not psychics. You never told them what you needed. You never communicated what you needed from them or what you wanted them to either start or stop doing. But when it comes to bad behavior, it's almost like they're saying you have to manage to their level of willingness to violate you. So you have to constantly make sure that you're acting in a certain way to prevent them from doing bad things to you. And that I completely disagree with. Completely disagree with. I believe that whatever your default instinct is who you actually are. So if someone is not showing that they have strong boundaries or they're showing that they're vulnerable and you automatically default to treating them in a bad way, taking advantage of them, using them, then you're just a horrible person. That has nothing to do with their lack or presence of boundaries. That's just who you are. You naturally default to taking advantage of people, using them, mistreating them if they don't show you that they won't tolerate that, versus a person who just won't do that to someone regardless. So it's kind of all coming back to the first instinct. What is your first instinct? And that's why I don't believe in this whole teaching people how to treat you thing. I watch a lot of different videos on workplace dynamics, and it's amazing to me how many pieces of advice are given that basically tell you that you have to be this ruthless, manipulative, cunning, fake person in order to get the people at your job to treat you with respect. Not your work product, not your work ethic, not your intelligence, not your reliability or your credibility, but how well you're able to play the game. To me, that's just not a game I'm interested in playing. If I have to constantly manage to your bad treatment, constantly manage to your mistreatment, that's not an environment that I need to be in. If I'm always having to make sure I'm on point so you don't mistreat me, there's something wrong with you, because your first instinct should not be to use, mistreat, and abuse. Your first instinct should be, I'm going to treat humanity with respect. And maybe that'll make the world a better place. If everyone made the decision to treat humanity with respect, maybe over time the world will become a better place. But if we're constantly saying, well, I'm only going to treat you with respect if you show that you're worthy of it, we're going to continue this downward spiral. So I say all that to say that I have a lot of issues with this philosophy. You teach other people how to treat you. No, other people should have made the decision that they're going to act and behave in a respectful way. If nothing else, neutral. Give me neutral. I'm going to treat others with respect because I would want the same, but more than what I would want back, I just have made the decision that I treat other people with respect. A popular saying is, I treat the janitor the same way I treat the CEO. And even though that's very cliche, it's actually a really great cliche because it's true. We should be treating the janitor just like we treat the CEO. People who actually take the time to divvy out their treatment based on who someone is or what their position is, these are our narcissists in society, and they're not making society a better place. There's something wrong with that person who adjusts how they treat others based on who they are and based on the level of fight the other person has demonstrated. That's crazy to me. I think that has to stop. I think we really need to place responsibility and accountability where it goes. And going back to what I said earlier, we are also responsible for describing who we are. You describe who you are. You're not training others, because if someone needs to be trained, they don't need to be in your life. They are too old to be getting trained at this point. I think training stops early 20s. But after that, if anyone is like 25 or older and you're still having to train them how to treat you with respect and dignity, you're going to be training them the rest of your lives because it's not there. It didn't sink in. Something didn't click along those early years, and it's too far gone at this point, in my personal opinion. The only way that they'll learn now is through consequences. But at this stage in the game, at this point, no one should be training someone else how to treat them. You should be describing who you are so people know, so people can say, I don't think I'm a natural fit in her life, or I don't think I'm a natural fit in his life. Describe who you are, but there's no need to keep someone around who you actually have to keep training like a dog and giving doggy biscuits. We're too old for that. It's 2018. We're far beyond that at this point. So let's stop with this whole, you teach other people how to treat you. No, other people make decisions and choices about how they treat you, and that's on them. And we're going to put that accountability and responsibility where it lies. Wishing you all much success and prosperity in this new year. I look forward to it. Thank you all for listening, and I grant you the permission to exist. Bye-bye.